everybody. Hello, future bestsellers, friends, hangers on, other assorted humans. I don't know what I'm saying today. I'm completely perplexed because the weather changed dramatically overnight in Florida. It's like 50 degrees.
Too, yeah.
Right? Kind of crazy. My body's like, wait, what is happening? So so anyway, hi guys. I'm super glad to see you today. So we are going to talk to RC today. I think he's going to come on for a while and talk about his new book, which is super exciting. We're also going to be talking about book launch strategies and questions and things that can go wrong and things that can go right, like things that have worked really well. Okay, so let's go ahead as people are sort of filtering in and do our little intros, and then we'll say hi to our friends in the chat and get rolling on this today. So I'm going to start with you, Michelle. Tell us a little about you and your awesome channel.
All right. I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm the author of middle grade and young adult novels, and I'm working on a mystery. And my YouTube channel is writing workshops. I haven't done this in a while. Traditional publishing, chat, and blogs.
We forgive you. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? Where you're like, what was I saying? So I almost feel like it's worse when it's something that you know really well and you've said a million times. Like, have you ever gone to, like, is this just me? Have you ever gone to the ATM and forgotten your ATM code? The same ATM code you used a million times and have probably used since like your first ATM card. Yeah. So I'll just go and I'll go like, what is that again? So Story Detective, welcome to the show today. We're very glad to have you as always. Tell us a little about you and your awesome channel.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm trying to figure out my my new take for how to explain this in a way that's less modest, that gets my my career out there. My career was in the comic book field, and I've been a storyteller my entire life through words and pictures. And beyond the comic book field, I have had other training in publishing and writing, and I am now writing my novels, and I'm putting all that experience on my channel under a Sherlockian microscope and breaking it down so that you will hopefully benefit from it and learn from my mistakes and my successes and make your craft journey easier.
Nice. Let's just do a little round of applause for that. Hold on, I think we've got it. Do we still have it? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Okay. We're very proud of you, Robert. Very, very nice. That's great. So, hi, everybody. Well, first of all, welcome to you guys. I'm glad you're here. And actually, we think we're going to have a guest today. RC had asked if he could come on today because he's got a brand new book coming out. Yay! Which is also part of the reason why we have the topic that we have today, because he is launching his first book. So we're going to talk about book launch strategy and book launch questions and stuff that doesn't work and stuff that does. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Lisa Daly. Welcome. We're very glad that you made it today. I'm a traditionally published, now indie published author. So I guess I'm a hybrid. And on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. So I am very happy to say hi to our friends in the chat today. Let's talk to Devin. Hello, Devin. Good morning, everybody. We're very good. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying the nice weather we're having in Texas, but it won't last. It's the teasing stage. Is that true? What's your weather like today, Michelle?
It's cold.
Is it?
I mean, but like late fall cold, not like winter cold. It was in the 30s this morning.
Yeah, it was really cold here this morning. I'm not sure the temperature, but it's suddenly got quite cold for October, and they said we may get snow before the end of the month.
Oh my gosh.
So that's where we're heading.
When you're a little kid and like you can't wait for it to snow, but the one day you don't want it to snow is Halloween because you don't want to have to wear your coat over your Halloween costume.
Indeed.
Anytime it snows anywhere near Halloween, I'm like re-traumatized from my childhood of having to wear a big winter coat over my, various fairy costumes.
It
So
feels
yeah.
wrong, and if we get that early rain, all the leaves and the color just disappear fast.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's a lot of leaves out there because we had a rainy day yesterday, so it's already getting stripped a bit.
So it's starting to even look like winter outside too.
Mhm.
It's the worst. Or the best, depends on your perspective. For me, I'm like, no, everything's dying. Mary's here. Hello, Mary. We are very, very glad to see you here today. Welcome, Emerged. I can is it Tashunda Schley? I don't know. Anyway, we're very welcome. Please let us know how you want us to pronounce your name or your Instagram, your YouTube handle. I don't know where I am today. Anyway, welcome. We're very, very glad to see you today. Devin loves the weather. Just cold enough for a light jacket or sweatshirt. Vixen of Fiction is here. Hello. We are very, very glad. Right? This is what we had. We went from like mid 70s to 50 this morning. And I'm cold. Like I have socks on. I have like my under the desk blanket. I'm ready. You'll see me. I'll be like typing in those fingerless gloves. And everyone's going to be like, what happened? Where's Lisa? Is she in Alaska today? No, it's 50 degrees in Florida. And I'm a wimp. All right. Laura's here. Hi, Laura. We're super glad to see you today. BookTube Goddess is here. I was used to using letters on the ATM code, and in Europe, there were no letters, so I had no idea what the code was. I feel your pain. I feel it. Hi, Sophia. We're very glad to see you today. Hi, Cool Gamer. We're very glad you are here. T, hello T. We are super glad you're here. Thank you very much for telling us what to call you, because that's a really big long name, and I would try to do it, and I think we know that would not be good. All right, so T, we are very happy you're here today. Becca's
Hey,
here.
Becca.
Hello, we're very glad you made it today. Hi, Victoria. We're super glad you made it today. Very nice. We have such a good group today. All right, let's go ahead and do. I feel like no one's nagged me yet, and yet it's 11:10, and I was just about to say, let's do our 5-minute warm-up sprint.
Woo!
What? See, the world is upside down today. It's this cold weather. I hardly know what to do. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do our 5-minute warm-up sprint, so everybody can get their documents out or your cleaning supplies or whatever it is you are going to do this morning during our sprints. I'm going to be writing today. What are you guys going to be working on?
Ghostwriting.
Ghostwriting.
Yeah,
Right.
a draft due at the end of this month.
Fantastic. And how about you?
I am editing my current draft, which I hope to finish by the end of the month. That's the deal I'm making with myself. And if I do it, then I will do NaNoWriMo and work on something completely different for a month.
Ooh, that sounds very nice. So I know that you are sort of stacking up all of your books to do rapid release strategy. Do you know when the first one's going to drop yet? Do you have a date in mind, a target date in mind?
The first one will be this one. I was hoping that it would be launching this year, but since it turned out to be such a disaster, I just chucked the deadline and figure it'll probably be next year at some point.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. I think that's going to be fantastic. All right, you guys, everybody in the chat, let us know what you're planning on working on today. Are you doing your nano prep? Are you working on something else? Let us know. All right, we're going to take 5 minutes and do our warm up and get our drinks and all that other stuff. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about launch strategies and what everybody is working on today. All right, you guys, here we go. Sprint. All right. Fantastic. I'm very glad. Oop. Hold on. It just started running again. Oops. That's funny. Well, and like I have this like extra headphone in just so I can make sure that I hear the timer thing when it goes off, because I have not figured out how to make the sound from the video go into my headphones. I think I need some sort of a switcher thing, but I'm not quite positive yet. I'm going to have the horror geek figure that production aspect out for me. So we have not heard back from RC. Actually, I should look and see. But he said he just woke up and assumed it was canceled. It's not. We're here, honey. We're here for you. All right, hold on. Talking. This is kind of funny. I'm texting him right now. We're talking about your book today. All right. So I did just go on. Let's just take a quick peek. Let's see what we've got. Let me do a screen share here. I have to say, I do not care for the fact that now the share button is called present. It messes me up every time now. I'm like, what? All right, what happened to it? Thank you, page. All right, we can do this and we'll just go back. Okay, so here it is. It's RC's new book. Yay! Congratulations, RC. We are very, very proud of you. I'm going to drop a link to it in the chat so we can talk about it. All right. So I kind of want to talk about book launches, because when I looked at RC's book, I noticed a couple of different things, and I want to see what you guys think. So if we see this, his book's called No Strings Attached. He's got this cover, and let's see if I can make the description big so you guys can see the whole thing.
Well, they should be. Honestly.
Oh,
this is such bullshit.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. So, all right. So there we go. So, no strings attached. Yay. Everybody's saying congrats to RC. It's pretty awesome, right? First book ever.
Yeah.
So, and it's a bargain. It's 99 cents, or you can read it free on Kindle Unlimited. So you guys should definitely hop over and support if you're able to do that. The share to present messed me up when they first changed it. It took me a few seconds, right? I'm confused by it every single week. I think this is like the third week. RC is here. So he's here in the chat. Let's see if he makes it to the back. Are you still going to join us today, RC? Because we're dying to talk about your book. All right. So Creative Focus, which that is a very cool name. We're so glad you're here today. And she says, congrats to RC. Vixen says, congrats. Da, da. Very nice. Hello. How much time is left? The whole time. The whole time. It's 11:21. We have just gotten started. So here's what we'll do. We are going to do our first 20-minute writing sprint, and that will give you enough time to hopefully sort of get your bearings and pop in. And then we're going to talk about your book today, because I'm excited about it. But we're talking about book launch strategy, but I see some stuff that I'm like, oh, RC, I got to tell you this. We want to do this. So when we come back for our first 20-minute sprint, we will talk. We will go ahead and talk with RC about what he's doing so far with his book launch plans and any advice that we have for him, since this is his very first book launch. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, guys. All right. So 20-minute sprint seems like a good plan right here.
Sounds like a good idea.
It does. Once again, present. I'm like, where is it? Where's share? Once again, present has foiled me.
It's present.
Right? There we go. All right, let's see what we've got here. Now I can't find. There we go. 20-minute read. Okay. Now we're ready. All right, everybody. So we are going to start off with a 20-minute sprint. If you have not already told us what you're going to be working on today, please let us know in the chat. If you're doing nano prep, if you're working on some other project, if you're doing book launch prep, whatever it is, we want to know all about it. All right, here we go. We're going to start off our first 20-minute writing sprint in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. All right. Very, very nice. Our guest is here today. We are very excited. Sorry for the delay. As you guys know, I'm super slow on social media, and I did not respond quickly. And poor RC thought that we were we were canceled today. So, hi RC. We are very, very glad you are here today. Oh, you're muted, RC. Still muted. All right, so we'll just continue on until he's got that kind of figured out.
He's here in spirit.
Yes, exactly. So,
spirit.
What?
Check it out.
Seems like Siri is looking up spirits now.
I know, right? Well, speaking of spirits, it looks like RC has a brand new horror book for his new release, which I'm very excited about. Is that right, RC? Are you is it horror? And I'll tell you why I'm asking, because I wasn't quite sure from the cover or the description, but your first review says a delectable gore fest, and makes a chew pun, so, or a choose pun, and so my guess is that it's horror, but I'm not sure. So let's find out. All right, RC, let's see if I can get you. Let me see if I can get him on Instagram and see if there's a problem. Let's see. I wonder if he can even hear us. Can you? I asking like he could respond. Can you unmute? Okay. All right, fantastic. I just sent him a little message, so hopefully we'll hear back from RC in just a little bit. But in the meantime, I think we can just sort of go ahead and look at the book and oops, wrong book. Let's see, and make sure that that we give some good advice. All right, here we go.
It is a horror novel.
Is it horror? Okay.
It is a horror story.
I just bought it. I'm very excited to read it. Let me go ahead and share / present the Amazon listing so we can all look at the same thing all at the same time. Maybe. All right. Okay. So, when you're launching a book, it's really important to make sure that you have all your metadata for Amazon. So basically all the stuff that tells the algorithm what kind of book it is and what kind of readers would like it and what categories it should be in. All that stuff is really, really important to make sure that readers can find the book. So one thing that's really important is to have a cover that meets genre expectations, so that when readers look at the cover, they go, "Oh yeah, that's the kind of book that I want." Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think about this cover as far as communicating horror?
I think it evokes some kind of city-esque, gritty feeling. And
gritty was the word I was going to say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it goes against the horror genre, but I don't know that it's super, super clear. But I think that's something that could be solved really easily with a blurb on the front cover.
Oh yeah, like the purple space, especially at the top, like
exactly, right? Don't you like look at that and go like, "Oh, this is right where you would put a pull quote." Like I'm going to do it like right here. That's where you would put like a good quote about that. And if you had one that said like the most terrifying horror novel you'll read this year or something like that, that can do a really good job. Do we have RC?
Hello.
Yay!
My mic is working. Yay! I am here.
Woo! All right. We are very, very glad that you are here, RC.
Thank you, Lisa. Glad to be here finally.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Do you mind that we dig in on your book? Because I was like, well, we were going to talk about launch strategies, and then when we pulled it up, I was like, oh, I have stuff I want to say about this. Do you want to hear it, or is that just obnoxious? We could just say, go out and buy it right this minute, which we did say, right? It's 99 cents. It's our buddy RC's brand new book. We should definitely check it out. For sure.
Grab a shovel. Let's dig away.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. So here's what we were talking about right before you came back. So first thing I noticed is you have an extra T in your book title on Amazon, which is easy to fix on KDP.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens. That's like something like you see it 800 times and your brain's like, yeah, that's right. And then one other person can see it and you could go, how did I not notice that? Okay. So, I
can leave it, how Stephen King misspelled Pet Cemetery.
Right. It could be a thing like that. It could be a thing like that. Definitely could. Okay. So, so this is interesting. So BookTube Goddess thought it was a romance or a sexy story because of the pink color and the title. It does look like it could be like a little, like I could see like a little smutty thing going on. I can do that. I could see that. Okay. So we were talking about this, RC. So one of the things that we did not think that your book was outside the horror genre. Like it's not, you don't have something that's completely the opposite, but it also doesn't say it like right away. And we were thinking that could probably be solved really easily by adding a blurb to the front cover, or even just a sort of short tagline about the book, but basically something that says that this is a horror book. So you can do that by either sort of associating with other horror authors or having them say nice things about your books, or having someone say like the most exciting horror novel since blah blah blah, or the most exciting new voice in horror since Stephen King came on the scene, like that. Okay.
Because I want to curse myself immediately.
Right. Okay. True. That's true. All right. You don't have to compare to Stephen King, but it would be good to get a blurb from somebody that you feel like that your work is sort of close to. So the other thing that you can do with that is have right at the very beginning of your book description, you can say this book is perfect for readers who love blank, obviously say it in a different way, but essentially what you want to get across is if you like this kind of book and this kind of book, then you'll definitely like my book. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Some kind of a potential change up to the color, instead of pink, maybe more reddish. Also, the blood splatter, when I was looking at the title and thumbnail, I was wondering what was hanging from the D, and I had to actually go on my phone and blow it up to see that it was blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I do love the perspective on the cover.
Yeah.
I love that, right? I don't know where it is, but I know it's seedy and something bad's going to happen there. Right. And I don't know if it's smutty bad or horror bad yet, but I really do like the vibe of it. And I especially like that it's just made to have someone say something super nice about you right up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I want to go down a little bit farther.
May I provide an explanation for the cover?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a quick whip together by my editor. We were having a whole week fighting with Amazon about how I can't prove that it's my work, and I need this signature here, there, and I finally had enough, and they called, and I'm like, just take it down. I'm tired of dealing with you people.
And, no.
Turns out it was the cover I hired off, got artists off of Fiverr.
Oh no.
And they basically just took stock footage and put it together and took my money for it, and that's what paid me. And I'm like, yeah, can we do anything? He's like, I'll whip something up real fast for you. And
yeah.
I like the color a little bit, but it does have like that seedy kind of edgy 90s vibe, I think.
Yes, yeah, I do. So is that a good fit for the book?
I believe so. I mean, it's a slasher, but it definitely some erotica in there. I don't know, somewhere along the way in my writing journey that rubbed off on me. I don't know from who or where. It remains a mystery. Let it go.
Well, so that's interesting because so if it is like a horror with some, which um sex and horror go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? So they do. A horror is like, often filled with sex. So so the fact that you did get sort of that, like, we did have people that got sort of a BDSM vibe from it, like maybe that's a good like market expander for you. So so what about the idea of changing your description a little bit so that you have more of a clue for readers about who's going to like this book? What kind of book is it?
I'd say that's a good idea. My idea with it was kind of lure people. Don't be straight off, oh, this is gonna be a blood fest. It's kind of like that seducing them into your story, because you do have a little bit in there, because the whole thing is about seducing people to their end without giving too much away.
Right.
And it's kind of that way. Go ahead. Sorry.
What if instead of the blood splatter that looks like something hanging from a D, you actually hang something from it like a pair of handcuffs?
Bloody handcuffs?
Can they be bloody handcuffs?
I don't want to think it's a straight up, BDSM story.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that could bring more of that.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking, maybe a garbage can that you see down in the bottom with something hanging out of it that's a little bit of a clue or a hint.
The thing about me is I've always been about hybrids. It's hard to really nail me down as a person, let alone an author. And I guess I also kind of see it as, somebody like going in and wanting something and realizing they're in it for something else. Like, they got the hint of eroticism. So it's like, come for the spice, but stay for the blood kind of thing.
Okay. Come for the spice, stay for there's a tagline right there. Come for the spice. You can put that right on, you can put that right on your website, RC.
What about a handprint? What do you think?
Come for this dice. I think that a handprint is always good because it's like it gives you that sort of vibe that there's blood. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's something.
Handprint could be, but I love that quote. Come for the spice, stay for the blood. Maybe that's what some
maybe that's the headline of your description right there. Come for the spice, stay for the blood.
So in other words, I should write in the morning because all my good ideas come when I'm just waking up.
Yes. I sort of like come for the spice, stay for the blood, because you know what? You definitely know what you're getting then. But
yeah.
I mean, you don't know what it is, but like if you like blood and spice, you're gonna like it. So it's interesting that you say that too. So the other thing that I was thinking about with this when I first saw your book was that, so I just ordered a copy of it, but when I look down here, I do not see any categories. So why is that? Did you have you not put any in yet?
I did. I put like, was it like 7 or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the keywords. That's it. Category horror fiction short story.
Okay. So so I feel like usually after somebody buys it, like usually this is what it looks like before you've had any purchases, which obviously you have 1 rating, so you've had at least 1 purchase. Yeah. But hold on, I just bought it, so it should be, let me just refresh, right? Yeah. So I just bought it. So maybe that's why it wasn't showing up. Let's see if you've got categories now. No, still no categories. So when you picked out your categories, were you just sort of looking for the things that kind of match the best? Did you use a tool like Publisher Rocket? How did you pick those categories?
I just made stuff up, horror, slasher, desire. Actually, Chicago, since it's based in Chicago.
Okay.
Splatterpunk.
Are we talking about, you're talking about your keywords now, not your categories, right?
Well, with categories, it was only allowed 2, and horror and short story.
I'm going to tell you a secret today, RC.
Let's hear it.
You are actually allowed more than just 2 categories. And you should definitely take advantage of that. So I'm going to say, when we do our next 20-minute sprint, I will post in the chat a little, I think it's a video from Kindlepreneur, but they're really simple, easy instructions. You basically just go in on like your Author Central and you ask KDP to add more categories. And so we can maybe help you pick some good categories and show you where to enter them. But you have a lot of opportunities, especially for if you've got a little erotica and horror in there. That's a super good category for you. So we'll talk about that one next when we come back. How about that? Oh, what? All right. Are there things about I mean, we're obviously just talking about Amazon, which is the largest online bookseller, but the stuff that we're talking about will definitely help with the other online booksellers as well. Are you going wide, or is the book, I guess you're not, because I think it's in Kindle Unlimited, right? So for at least 3 months, you're exclusive to Kindle.
Correct.
Yes. All right. And that could be good, especially if you're like sort of just getting your feet wet. It also gives readers the opportunity to try you if they don't know you and they don't want to invest 99 cents. So let's go ahead and do our next 20-minute sprint. And then when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about your categories because I'm full of unsolicited advice today. So, all right. Hold on just 1 second. Are you good with that?
For sure.
No pressure being live on the air and everything. So I'm so excited for you, though. I think this is awesome because I feel like you've been coming all this time and now you have a book out in the world. So let's do a little of this. Yay!
Hey, I'm contributing.
Yay! We're super excited. That's really awesome. All right, here we go. We are going to get back in and do our 20-minute writing sprint. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about the book launch. If you guys have questions about book launches, we can talk about that. And let's go ahead and get rolling in 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Okie dokie. Very nice. All right. So how did everybody do on that last sprint?
I did pretty well.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. How
Moving
about
right
you, Michelle?
along.
Excellent. How about you, Michelle? Oh, I don't know if she's turned off or we are. All right. She's got herself muted. How about you, RC? How'd you do on that last sprint?
I am decaffeinated now.
Yay. All right. I see that. You now have your coffee. Very, very nice.
Yes,
Very good.
had to gather myself a little bit. This third shift does kind of have my brain in that dismal fog of the eternal night,
Yes.
but I've made it back. I was just getting together some things. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm doing another release next month and another one in December.
What?
Yeah.
Look at you.
November is I'm releasing a short story and even shorter story together. Is kind of this my own way of doing my Grindhouse double feature act. And December is the novella I wrote.
I love that. I love that. Are you going to do them? So talking about marketing. So when you're talking about doing like a Grindhouse double feature, which I totally love that. I think that should be like the name of your box set. I mean, I know Grindhouse is like a company that like distributes horror movies, but that you could do like a little double feature box set with that. Just be like another way to sell that same book, those same books.
Yeah, you're right. Well, first off, shout out to Jason McCord, my editor, because he's the guy who really helped me out this past week getting the stuff together with formatting and dealing with Amazon. And he went out of his way to help me. And, you know, he's got a friend for life here. But yeah, the whole plan was get a pre-order for a week ahead and just plug anywhere I can, go anywhere I can. But then I had to deal with the bots at Amazon. And I think I finally got a human on the 7th day.
Right.
And so got it unfrozen so I can get in there. Changed out the manuscript, changed out the cover because that last cover sucked.
Yeah.
Threw it in there and like 4 hours later, bam, it's on there. So there was no marketing, none of that. And I'm basically just going off of word of mouth and what I'm doing right now, which it's probably dumb, but I'm dumb anyway. So I like the whole, you know, see how it spreads with word of mouth, take baby steps, see how much credibility I can get without the exposure, you know, the Metallica method, basically.
Well, that's great. I mean, and the truth is, for every person, like every book is a learning experience, because even if you have like a spectacular, you know, all pistons firing first launch, if you go like, well, I clearly know what I'm doing, I just organized my way to an awesome book launch, and then you try that same strategy on another book, there will be parts of it that do not perform anyway, or problems like what you had where you know, upload the book cover. And I mean, how many times have we heard like, oh, find a Fiverr cover artist. And yet that was this thing that caused this giant wrench for you. And it took you guys, you know, the better part of a week to try and get it resolved. So yeah, that had to be super frustrating. Anything else? Were there any pleasant surprises about the launch of your book aside from
its actual launching? No. the how quick it, you know, launched after I finally resubmitted it. No, I mean, I've been around this circle for a while now. I've heard plenty of horror stories with publishing period, let alone doing it through Amazon, because you know how much they love to help the creators.
I do.
I still wasn't mentally prepared for it, and you know, combine that with a long week at work, and it was like I was too fried to care. It's like, oh, they brought it back again, saying I can't prove it's mine. Oh well. But yeah, by yesterday, it was funny how it finally landed on the Tuesday. I guess that's supposed to be like the rule of when you're supposed to like put stuff online. Yeah,
big publisher. Yeah, that's the day that most publishers release. It gives you the best chance of hitting the bestseller lists if you come out on Tuesday, because of how the bookstores count their return or count their sales. So yeah, so Tuesday's a good day, and so it just went live on Tuesday. So were you able to do any kind of pre-order at all, or you just came live on the day? So pre-orders are one of those things, like there's some conventional wisdom that says, yes, it's a great idea. And if you're trying to get promotion for the book ahead of time. It can give you like a good place to link. But then there are other people who say, oh no, it's a bad idea, because if you're not sending traffic there, then you're teaching the Amazon algorithm ahead of time that nobody's interested in the book, blah, blah, blah. So there are like two schools of thought. I still do lead towards pre-order, but I certainly had a similar experience where I don't remember what book it was. I think it was Become a Famous Romance Author. That when that book was released, we had a pre-order up there. It was going great. We had a number of pre-orders, and then Amazon did some crazy thing where they just shut the pre-order down, and I was able to get the book back up, but all those people who had ordered on the pre-order, it never transferred. So even though Amazon said that they would tell people, like once they realized the error, they said that they'd communicate, but they never did. So yeah. Anyway,
I had an image that came to mind when he mentioned the Grindhouse double feature of making the cover almost like a movie poster with a slash down the center with one image here and one image here.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think the one thing about living in such a big city is a lot of obsolete things cling on to life for a little bit longer. One of them being movie theaters, which are still around, but we still get those midnight double features, like Rolling Thunders and stuff like that, Vanishing Point. So I grew up on all that stuff. Then I had awesome video stores with awesome people in it. That's one thing one video store needs, is that Quentin Tarantino, and I had two of them.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I like I said, I was more into movies before I got into reading, so like all that stuff, and I kind of want to go that approach with it, and with it being horror, you kind of have to. You got to be a little flashy.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. So do you are you a pretty visual writer? Since I just bought it this morning, I have not had a chance to read it yet. Are you a pretty visual writer?
I believe so, because growing up, I have always had like really bad focus attention issues. So I really didn't get into reading prose fiction until my late teens. Before that, it was always movies and comic books. So I guess you could say I'm more visually oriented, because I was actually our editor told me this once, and it always stuck with me. She's like, "You write like somebody who watches a lot of movies, like not somebody who reads a lot." And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. But the more I thought about it, yeah, because I'd say like James Patterson is a good example of somebody who writes visually like that.
Yeah, I think there's a truth to that. I mean, he has that background in advertising, so
true. I'm not doing no 2-page chapters, but it makes me want to challenge myself later on, and I think you might see that in some of my later stories, especially in the novella. I did try to go more in depth because I was doing a longer story.
Cool. All right. Well, that's fantastic. So, most challenging, other than Amazon, what was the most challenging thing for you about getting this book out?
Most challenging thing. Probably that I rewrote it like 3 times. But most of my stories, I've probably first draft, rewrite, and it's done. Because for what I hear, I do really clean drafts, at least on the first drafts. I write slow, so maybe that's the reason for it.
Probably.
But I think I rewrote it, 3 times. It's like, first cut, second cut, final cut. It was like my Blade Runner. I might have 3 or 4 more cuts left in that story before I'm done. And it was the first story I ever wrote. And it just has that, ring to it, like it should be a first release.
Yeah.
And that was 2019.
I think there's some magic in the first, I think there's a special kind of magic in the first story you ever write. Like the first story you write and finish to put out. I think there's always some, I don't know what it is, but there's
also,
je ne sais quoi.
I notice a lot of people, I can't really say this for every writer, when they do like that first story, they want to keep it small, closed in, they're timid. I kind of just want to go out there, not to mention, just waiting this long to finally get into writing and let's just go all out. I have my first death in there, my first sex scene and all that jazz, and just hope it doesn't suck. But,
sure.
shoot for the moon.
Right? Death and a sex scene. So now we know what we're going to get in there. All right. So death and sex. That feels like
the beginning and the end.
Right. There you go. And for horror readers, they're like, okay, checking all the boxes. Very nice. So let's talk about the categories, because that's super important on Amazon. And since you've got 2, I did add in the chat There's a video that the Kindlepreneur guy Dave Chesson did about how to add more book categories, but it's really super simple. And I also dropped down the link in the chat to just add it on Amazon. It's very self-explanatory. So if you don't have time to watch the video, you can always do that. But there are some really good opportunities, and I'm going to pop up. I actually did like a Kindle Rocket. Oh, it's not called Rocket anymore. It's called Publisher Rocket. It used to be called KDP Rocket, but I think they changed that. All right, so here's what I did. I did a search for horror, and these are all of the categories on Kindle that Amazon has for horror. But one of the things that I noticed was this category right here, which is it's a genre fiction category under erotica, but it's also horror. And so if you are in this category, you'll need to sell 28 books in order to hit the top 10 in the category. And you need to sell 267 to hit number one. That's in a day to hit number one in the category. But 28 is definitely doable. And if you are in a category that's a really good fit for you, then being able to place in the top 10 can actually give you access to a lot more readers who might not otherwise see you. So another one you said, I think you mentioned it was a short story. So that's a really good category for you right here is the short stories under horror, where you only have to hit you like to sell 14 books to hit the top 10. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we can do that. If we all just order it, we can get them.
Right? You can get them on there today. And here's another one, horror comedy. If you've got any comedic elements, I know you're funny in real life, so I thought maybe that was a thing. It's not a Western, so it's probably not that. But there are lots of opportunities in here. Teen and young adult. I don't know how smutty your sex scene is, so that might not be appropriate. So there's that, but there are other but there are some good categories. Like some of these you only have to make one sale to hit number one. Those are all the foreign language categories, but there are some really good categories for you where you could rank pretty easily, which would help you to get some more readers. So there you go. I'll send you a list of categories that I think would be a good fit for you to add.
You had me at Gothic fiction. I can go with that one. Well, I've always been big in the music scene here because in Chicago, it's like the hub for any touring band. At least anyone who wants to get noticed, they all come here. So I'd be punk, metal, but mostly goth. I know a lot of those people, goth DJs, musicians, and they're about to be in their DMs real fast. Like, hey, remember that favor I did for you? Remember when I supported your band throughout the flyers? Bam.
Bam. That's it. All right. Now it's time. Want a little payback here. So Jen asked a question. She wants to know, weren't you on SD Houston's stream a few weeks back?
I was. Shannon is awesome. I want to come back on there.
She is awesome. She's really fantastic. I think all of us have done her show at one time or another. Have you guys have done it, right? Have you ever done a thing with Shannon? No? I'm completely surprised. She, I'm sure she'll have you on at some point. She does a very, very nice job. So, all right, you guys, we have like 25 minutes left. So we're going to go ahead and do another sprint. Let me just share our screen. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I love how you guys get to hear me singing while I'm trying to figure things out. All right. All right, here we go. We're going to do a 20-minute beach timer. I'm reading. Good Lord, help me. Hi, we're doing a 20-minute writing sprint today. Thanks for being here. Such a dork. 3, 2, 1, and sprint. right. Fantastic. So I still have our little streamer sound going. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. All right. So how did everybody do on that last one?
Good.
Good.
Excellent.
Very good.
How about you, RC? How'd you do?
Pretty much damage control at this point. I'm going over this novella that I wrote about a year and a half ago. You ever have one of those stories, you just complete the first draft and you just think you knocked it out of the park? Like you just paved a smooth highway to come back to nothing but potholes and exploded tankers everywhere.
Yes.
That's how I'm doing right now. You know, I finished this story thinking I was real hot shit. Like I was Paul Sheldon, lighting a cigarette, glass of champagne, all that jazz. No, I had a lot to learn about transition and show versus tell.
It's, you know, the thing about it is like the only way to learn is really to do it. I mean, you absolutely want to read as many craft books as you can get your hands on and talk to other people who know what they're doing. But as far as like actually writing your story, like all of us will make mistakes on different books a million times, on your 10th book, on your 80th book. But I feel like it just takes doing it. That's the way to get better, is just to keep doing it. So I'm super excited that you were here to launch your first book. I think that's pretty awesome and fantastic. So we're very honored and excited. I'm going to pop it up one more time. Hold on just a second. You'd think I would be faster at this, but the answer is no, I am not. All right, here we go. Dun, dun. All right, there it is. So yeah, so it's available. It's only 99 cents, or you can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited. And be sure to leave a review because, right, brand new book, everybody needs reviews.
I fixed the tea, by the way.
You what?
I fixed that tea. I got rid of it.
Oh, did you? Good. Okay, fantastic. I know it's stuff like that where, like I said, it happens to everybody. You can read it 1,000 times and your brain is still like, yeah, that looks right to me. So anyway, oh, look, Doll's here. Dun, dun. She says hello. And she says, I got my copy.
Ew.
Yay.
She's one of the first people to read any of my stuff.
Ah, that's so sweet. That's super supportive. That's really awesome. All right, Mary had to be away from the computer, but RC, she got your book and can't wait to read it. Yay!
Thank you, Mary.
Yes, come for the spice, stay for the blood.
No, I got a better one. Come for the spice, stay for the slaughter.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. I feel like that needs to be a headline on your thing. I'm going to send you those, that list of potential categories. RC, I'll send it to you over on Instagram, but just add a few extra ones. Add some that are a little lower hanging fruit so that people can start to find you. All right. Well, let's go ahead and head out for today. Dawdling Writers here. Hello. Managed to finish 3 tasks for the day while in lurking mode. Woot, woot. Thanks for the sprints. Thank you very, very much. We are super, super glad that you made it today. I feel like I had somebody earlier I wanted to pop up that I noticed. Said they were, here, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. We're very, very glad to see you today. New here, longtime viewer, Michelle's channel, never managed to make the live stream, and I've been wanting to do so. We are so glad you are here, Rebecca. Very, very nice. I know it was like a little bit different than we normally do, but I'm excited about your book launch, RC. So I'm very, very happy that you did it. Yay! Right? First book out.
Yeah. And as Lisa said, everything I've ever read or watched videos on KDP says go for those less popular categories because you'll rise faster in those.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happens is if you start to show traction in the smaller categories, then the Amazon algorithm will give you more juice, basically, and that you'll get more visibility in those categories where you're not as high. But if they see some traction, if they see that, when I say if the algorithm notices movement and traction with your book in small categories, and we'll see like, hey, if we scale this and make it bigger, will we still see the same sales? So that is an awesome way to at least get started with that. All right, you guys, let's say our goodbyes now. Everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Story Detective, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your channel before we pop out for the day?
My channel takes all forms of storytelling and puts it under a Sherlockian microscope and breaks down the craft to make your journey easier. And there are videos that are forthcoming. I put up one last week that did mediocre. I still have some work to do to get my channel back up to par, but it'll continue.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Michelle.
Hi.
Hi.
Michelle Schusterman. I write middle grade and young adult novels. I'm currently working on a mystery, and my channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Chat, and Writing Blogs.
Thank you so much for being here. RC, brand new author. Yay. Thank you so much for being here today. Will you, since we know about your awesome book and we're excited to read that, tell us a little bit about your channel and a little bit about you, because I feel like a lot of people don't know very much about you.
I know. Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me on here. It's cool to be on this side of things, looking down at the chat for once. Awesome. Yeah, RC. I write dark things. By this weekend, I should be doing all the things I should have done a while back. Make a website, maybe get all that stuff together, maybe a link tree. It also boosts up my membership in HWA because now I have stuff published, because while I'm doing this in the next few months, might as well submit myself for Bram Stoker nomination.
You should. You definitely should. And the horror community is really like supportive. So yeah, get in there, dig in.
Yeah, that's another thing. I could be a little more social in there. I went in there and met like 2 people. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
It can be hard, right? Especially if you're like not naturally inclined that way to like go out and, make connections and things like that. But places like those sort of horror events are really good places to meet other writers who could blurb your books and give you advice and do newsletter swaps and all kinds of really good stuff. So yeah, it's good. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. RC, we are so glad to have you. There is a link to RC's channel in the description below. And I have not, there was a link earlier to his book in the chat, but I will definitely put one in the description as well. So thanks so much for being here, everybody. You guys are awesome. We will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. And until then, keep writing. All right, everybody. Bye.
Take care, everybody.